So you're trying to be a serious gamer and you don't know where to start by buying your keyboard at. Today we're going to be showing you 5 options starting from kind of cheaper from $30 options all the way up to $300 to $400 to $500 options of keyboards that you can buy. So without further ado, let's get into the video. For our first keyboard, we're going to be going with a kind of known brand. We're going to be going with the $36 Redragon 60% keyboard for you. This is a very known and kind of cheaper keyboard. As we can see, it does normally cost $50, but we got a deal going for a 26% deal, and it's costing only $37 at the moment right now. I think it is definitely a very good pickup that you need to buy, and as we can tell, it's a mechanical keyboard. Obviously, this is just like the keycaps that I chose, that like the one that it's showing you. But if we go right here, we got different colors right there. I would probably buy the second one, not this pink one, because I'm a guy. Be honest, I'm not really a pink guy. But for the keyboard actually itself, a 60% keyboard. Now, it kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're only gaming, then yes, a 60% keyboard is what you need. Now, if you're doing other stuff, like you're going to be using it for work and kind of editing videos, or maybe doing something else with it, maybe look into a 60 to 65 to even just 100% keyboard. It doesn't matter. Just the reason why streamers and TikTokers and everyone uses 60% is because it takes up less space, meaning it gives your arm a lot more space to move. Also, 60% will be the cheaper options, as far as you'll have to get less like switches, less keys, kind of different things that will cost more money if you get a higher 65% keyboard and so forth. I personally use the 65% keyboard because the arrows I use to help me guide my stream, start stream, create clips. I personally think a 65% keyboard is where it's at. Before this first option, the Redragon, $37 is definitely what you need, and this will get you by until you're able to get something down the line. For our second option, we're going to be going with the Kuzen gaming keyboard. Now, me personally, I have not used it, but as we can see here, it's a 68 keys, so it kind of has that 65%-ish keyboard style to it. Now, like I said, I haven't used it, but from the sound of it, I do like what it says. Now, it is a wired keyboard, which you shouldn't be having a wired keyboard. If you have a wireless, you're wasting money. You don't need a wireless keyboard. They do nothing for you. Wired, just get it. It's not like a mouse where it can get in the way. It's going to be staying still. So get the wired keyboard. Now, Cherry MX Brown's switches, I think, are going to be the best switches that you can comfortably afford for the cheaper price. Now, this is a $70 keyboard, but that is probably going to be in what I consider the middle ground keyboard. I kind of say we got cheap, kind of from that 0 to 50, or medium from 50 to kind of like 80. And then I think anywhere from probably like 90 or higher is going to be our expensive. So for our categories, for a $70 kind of a higher than middle, you're getting a pretty nice looking keyboard. I personally think the all white with the white color with it goes really good together. As we can tell, it's a 4.4 star rating. I haven't used it, but I would just personally say that this keyboard will give you the best performance for what you're looking for that middle kind of price range, until you can get, hopefully one day, one of these more expensive keyboards. Now, for our third option, which a lot of people are going to say is expensive, it's a very well-known company. We're going with the Ducky One 3 Mini. Now, again, I have not used this keyboard, but I have used a Ducky One 2 Mini before. In fact, I used the Ducky One 2 Mini Panda Edition, and I personally loved it. I gave it to my friend. I let him use it for now, and it worked perfectly, and it was by far one of my favorite keyboards. In fact, it'll probably cost a little bit the same, if not a little bit cheaper. So pick one of the Ducky One 2 or One 3 Mini up. As we can tell, it's a 60% hot swappable, which makes the price difference from that $70 keyboard that we're looking at to this $130 keyboard. Is that hot swappable? If you don't know what hot swappable means, it means these Cherry MX Brown switches. So what's under the keycaps, you are able to switch those out and get different switches. So pretty much what you can do is just buy switches and change them out for the MX Browns. Now, you can do that for smaller keyboards as well. Just Some of them aren't hot swappable, and that's where you'll mess up. You can destroy your keyboard if you try and do that without a hot swappable keyboard. Now, this keyboard will get you what you want. It'll give you the performance, and it has razors, which is nice, and it does give you that nice little USB-C connection. Obviously, Ducky One 3 Mini or Ducky One 2 Mini, I think the Ducky keyboard brand is really well known because they are really reliable. They do what they say, and they do it good. Now, do I think this one's really worth it? No. I think the brand name is really good, and I do think this keyboard itself will get you good performance, but I do think you're getting more out of this one than you are this Ducky One 3 Mini. For spending that $50 extra difference, I think this one will get you the same performance that you're going to get from this one. Your gameplay won't improve that much better. Now, with these next two keyboards, I will say your performance will improve definitely a little bit, and you will just you'll feel your stamina will feel like you're a better player. I personally do have this next keyboard, and it's coming in from KBD Fans. I didn't know about the other company before this, so I probably would have gotten it, but these ones are very fun and very good to look at, and you'll just have fun looking at them. As you can tell, these are custom keyboards. You can customize your keyboard, or you can buy ready to use. So we have any keyboard here, 20% keyboards. So those are just going to be those little side things over there. Obviously, I would go for a 60 to 65% keyboard, and look we got all of them right here. Now, these are where we go from those expensive to the really expensive. We're already looking at ready to use $260. Now, buy one that you think looks good and that you think will do good. Me personally, if I were to choose one, I'd probably go for one of these ones down here. Probably this 220 one maybe, because it has a simple design and it is going to be on the cheaper ends. But as we can tell here, we're getting all of our parts together. So as you can see here, the KBD Fans can get you really expensive keyboards. If we're looking over here, we have a $400 keyboard as well, and so forth. But pretty much what you can do is if you go to shop and you go to keyboards, restock keycaps, any of them, and you go to the DIY kit, it's pretty much you can get whatever you want and you can build it yourself. I personally never would recommend this unless you're really unless you're a keyboard expert or unless you're really into doing this, then I would. But I would personally just stick with doing the ready to use fans or going into the KBD Fans, which is where you can design everything that you want. So from your keycaps and down. So kind of just choosing what parts you like. Now you can choose what parts you want and you can have them build it for you, which is a very good thing about the KBD Fans. In my opinion, is that it's fun to build around and build your own keyboard because it's unique. I don't know if you can see, I can show you in a different video, but I customized my own keyboard and it looks sick. I got some Chinese letters on there. I got just this elusive shield holding it, and I really like it. I've been using it for about 1.5 to 2 years now, and I think I spent around $300 on it, and I would say it's definitely worth it. I spilt Coke in this thing before and it did not even get close to breaking, so it's definitely reliable. And this is going to be your very expensive. If you're wanting to customize and get a nice, cool keyboard that you can kind of brag about, this is where you'll get that option. Now, for our very, very expensive use, we're going to be going over to High Ground. High Ground is a pretty well-known company, but they do stuff with kind of content creators, and that is why they cost so much. As we can tell here, if we go to our limited editions, we got keyboards that are just costing $300. We do have some cheaper ones. We got the 141, but as you can tell, all of these are filled up already, so they're not easy to buy, but they are going to be very good and very reliable. As we can tell here, this High Ground keyboard going for about $135. Actually, yeah, wait, no, KBD Fans is costing a lot more than this. Never mind. So we're going to switch those two. They give you really cool designs for a kind of cheaper price point. In fact, they're going for around a little bit more base price. They're going a little bit more than this Ducky One 3 Mini, but I mean, look at this. You're not finding a keyboard doing what this is doing. So if you're looking for a very cool and very unique style, High Ground has you covered, and they will get you whatever you need. By the way, they got hats, apparel, switches. They got you here. If you're looking for a site that does it all, this is probably going to be your site. You got the keyboards, mousepad, switches, kind of all-in-one, and they have, in my opinion, they have really cool designs like this Summit G's. they're looking cool. I think this one's cool. I even think this one's really nice with it. So yeah, guys, that's going to be my list. I would personally just check out these websites yourself, and I'll put all of these down in the description below as well. But if I was personally going to rank them as a top 5, as I would honestly go with the High Ground Company at number 1. I think they give you kind of a overall clean, cool, and very reliable. I've had multiple streamers use High Ground Company keyboards. So I would personally go High Ground at 1. I'd go this keyboard at number 2. It looks very good and it looks really reliable. I like the switches they use as well. Then I would probably go with the KBD fans at number 3, just because I use it, and I think customizing a keyboard is one of the coolest things you can learn and know how to do, as you never will do that again. Like this keyboard right here, I would personally buy that. Like, that looks sick. I think KBD fans is going to be just a unique one. I would probably go Red Dragon at 4. I think the price for it is very good, and none of these keyboards are just going to make you 10 times better at a game. They're going to get you different kind of results for the games that you use. For our for our fifth one, our last one, I'm doing the Ducky 1-3 Mini. As we can tell, it is rated really high, and I'm not saying it's a bad keyboard. I'm just saying for $130, you're really not getting anything better than you get from this one, in my opinion. I don't see something that just stands out that I'm like, you need this over it. The hot swappable is very good. It's very nice, but it's not necessary. It's not needed. I don't think it's something that's going to make you 10 times better at the game. Maybe it'll make it sound better, but it won't do anything dramatic. If you're going for a ready-to-use keyboard, there's nothing about this that you can't get from a $50 cheaper keyboard. But without further ado, guys, if you guys did enjoy that video of my top 5 keyboards that are going to be ready to use and get you right into action, let me know down below. If whatever, guys, you want to see next, make sure you guys comment down below what video or what top 5 you'd like to see next. Obviously, I do post some Warzone content, so if you do want to check that out, make sure you leave a like. And yeah, we're going to be doing top 5 headsets next, so make sure you check that out if you'd like to know what top 5 headsets you can get for your price range. Without further ado, I hope you guys I'll see you guys in my Twitch or my Kick streams. I would love to see you guys there. Without further ado, have a nice one.